What's going on, people? It's your boy Tops back again live for another Tops in the Morning show. Big up everyone in the building. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, T-Chanzo Sports, the home of sports. And yeah, a big piece of news over the weekend, man. All of this stuff about Alexander Isak, man. Is he going to play for Newcastle again? Is he still going to go to Liverpool? Liverpool apparently backing down and not going to bid again until they get encouragement. Newcastle saying they want a replacement. We'll get into it all in this video, man. Alexander Isak left in limbo as Newcastle rejects Liverpool's offer. Now, over the weekend, I feel like it might have been Friday or Saturday, one of the two. Newcastle rejected a £110 million bid from Liverpool for Alexander Isak. Now, to be fair to Newcastle, I feel like the inkling that Newcastle have given off this entire time that obviously one, Alexander Isak isn't for sale, but if they were to sell him, it was going to be in the region of 150 million. Now, I understand obviously negotiation skills is to lowball, is to obviously offer the smallest amount you can in case they actually accept it, because then you've actually saved a lot of money. So I know a lot of fans are saying just pay the money, and that's coming from a fan's perspective on wanting the player. But again, negotiation deals, if you've ever done one in real life, you know that you've got to obviously bid lower to start off with and build yourself up to the point where both parties are happy with how much you're spending. However, what I will say about this is that the initial bid is a lot further away from the valuation than obviously maybe even Newcastle anticipated. Because again, the quotes coming out were saying that Liverpool were going to go all in for 130 million, and to go obviously with 110 kind of signals that maybe they weren't as serious as they obviously were suggesting they were. And as it says here, it says the club holds a firm valuation of 150 million pounds and refuses to sell without securing a replacement, according to multiple outlets, including the Daily Mail. And I said this before last week, guys. I said in these kind of deals, they're not going to sell unless they've got a replacement 99% done. We've seen it with Sporting Lisbon, with obviously selling Victor Gyökeres. You're probably going to see it with Crystal Palace if they're going to sell Eze. These teams, are going to want replacements through the door already, or pretty much through the door, or agreements with other players to make sure the transition of losing their key player and replacing him is smooth. What you do not want is to sell Isak and then SESKO decides to go to Man United, and now you're left with potentially just Vissa. Because remember, Callum Wilson's gone; he's left Newcastle. So yeah, that's what you don't want. If I'm being honest, man, that's what you don't want to happen. So yeah, I feel like they definitely are gonna have to wait until potentially they sign SESKO or maybe go for an Ollie Watkins, stuff like that. So Liverpool will have to be a bit patient. I said this is probably might drag out to maybe towards the end of the window, considering SESKO still not made his mind up whether he wants to go to Man United or Newcastle. Man United have not made a bid yet. Newcastle made a bid yesterday, which I'll get into as well. So a lot of stuff has happened. Pardon me, a lot of stuff have happened over the weekend. Big up everyone in the building, man. Big up Darren Martin. Big up Tops. Big up yourself, brother. Hope you are well. Good to see you in the building, my guy. Big up. I think that's unseen. Big up Morning Tops. We didn't lose yesterday. Oh, you didn't? Okay, you went to the game. I lied. I'm sure you said you were going to the game, man. Well, big yourself up. Obviously, you've alone at Ramsdale. So, yeah. Says Jay Robinson going to be a good one. Okay, nice to hear that, bro. Nice to hear that, man. Good to see you in the chat as well, my guy. Hopefully you are well. Big up everyone in the building, man. Make sure you guys smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. I need to put, that's what I need to do, man. One second. I need to put the membership link in the chat as well, bro. Make sure you guys like up the thing and subscribe. But yeah, the Newcastle situation, yeah, is a bit of a sticky one because again, like I said, I don't think they were expecting to sell Isak this summer. If I'm being honest, I feel like they thought probably you might sign a new contract and then be sold on for maybe even more money than 150. But so the fact that obviously he's not turning up to training, all that stuff is kind of kind of a bit of a sticky one, really, in that respect. Big on scene says 2-2 versus Brighton. Not bad. Came back down from 2-0 down in the second half. Well, at least you trained a bit of fight, a bit of courage, and obviously, again, that will hold you in good stead for the upcoming championship season, man. Big up ST, T-Chanzo Sports in the building. Big up yourself, brother. Appreciate you unseen. Big up ST as well, my brother. What you telling me, my guy? Big up Tops and the chat. Come on, people. Make sure you guys like up the video and subscribe, man. What's going on? Obviously, if you want to become a member, let me just put it in the chat there. If it comes in, yeah, just put it in the chat myself. So yeah, if you want to become a member, the link is there in the chat. But yeah, back to the article. It says Liverpool formally submitted their offer before the weekend, despite knowing it was below an early 120 million pound informal discussion. This is what's bizarre to me, to be honest with you. I feel like you've already informally discussed 120, and then you've gone in with an official bid that's lower than the one that you informally suggested. And I suppose that's probably why Newcastle thought, you know what, maybe if you are offering around about this kind of money to start off with, we can boost you up to that 140 plus add-ons kind of region, which obviously we'd be happy with. But yeah, to go back down is a bit strange. I don't know whether they think, because again, when they probably put that informal offer in, Isak probably didn't obviously not return to training at that point. So again, maybe they're thinking player power and the fact they've got a bit of pressure to sell Isak now that obviously he's not on tour, etc. Maybe they thought they could get him for a little bit cheaper, but even so, man, I just don't think it makes sense, especially when you're dealing with a player that basically is Newcastle's best player for a while as well, man. The last 3 or 4, 5, 6 years, how many years you want to call it? Isak's definitely been their star player. So yeah, I just don't get why you would do that, man. Me personally, says Newcastle immediately declined the latest and loan form offer by the Reds, making it clear there will be no further talks without a major increase of present figure. Sources at St. James's Park expressed frustration at what they viewed as a calculated move by Liverpool to save face with Isak's camp. One source described their approach as baffling, suggesting that the Merseyside club may have bottled it after prioritising other targets like Hugo Ekitike. Isak has not held matters by training at his former club Real Sociedad while citing a thigh injury. Yeah, that was always bizarre. He's training, but he said he's injured, so he can't go on tour. Yeah, mad. Newcastle have not confirmed if Isak had permission to travel to Spain. I highly doubt it. Why would they give permission for a player to travel to another team while their team is on pre-season? That makes no sense, bro. In another country. That just seems like mad headache for everyone involved, bro. Although it's fair to assume he didn't, considering he was prohibited from joining the team in Asia for their pre-season tour, precisely to avoid further damage to his injured, quote-unquote, thigh. Sources, quote, close to the club, according to the reports, have suggested a fine could follow. Yeah, obviously, yeah. It's basically doing what Victor Gyökeres is doing in terms of not turning up to training, going on potential strike until he gets the move he wants, which, again, we've seen a lot of player power in the last, 5 or 10 years in the Premier League in terms of players not turning up for training and stuff like that, and eventually getting their way. So maybe just following suit in that perspective. But again, it is up to Newcastle, man. If Newcastle decide that, listen, unless they pay X amount of money, you're not going. So Liverpool have to stump up the money, in my opinion. Otherwise, you're just going to stay for another year. Now, whether that tanks his value for the next season obviously remains to be seen. Is he going to play his hardest? Remains to be seen. All of these kind of things you got to take into consideration when you keep a player that really wants to leave. But like obviously reports have suggested, it's the kind of a situation where they're saying we're either going to sell you or you're going to sign a new contract, which will have a release clause in. You'll get more money, you'll be paying more money, but it protects your value even more to the point where now we can literally just point to the release clause. Set a release clause. If you want to buy the player, this is the release clause kind of vibe, which would obviously prevent a lot of teams buying the player. Because again, if the release clause is 125 million, that is upfront, all in one go. No club, in my opinion, will be able to afford that. Not in one go. Not if they want to obviously carry on and buy other players as well. So yeah, man, go very, very sticky one indeed. Big up Jake says hi. Big up everyone seeing heavy aura loss for Isak if he ends up staying. Yeah, man. I mean, he's obviously he's trying to stamp his authority in terms of, okay, this is the kind of team I want to play for. Let me leave. I'm not going to turn up for training to kind of facilitate the move. And if that does not end up happening, it could be a very, very sticky one, man, if I'm being honest. Big up ST says the only interesting thing is why has Isak left it quite late to do this? Yeah, I don't know, bro. I feel like, again, maybe he was encouraged by Liverpool's kind of team that potentially, if you kind of do this right now, we could obviously then push for a move. Maybe he didn't think they were going to be serious. Because again, if a club comes out and says not only that you're not for sale, but also if they come out and say, if we're going to sell you, it's going to be 150 mil. Not a lot of teams can want to afford that, or to be wanting to pay that as well. So it's kind of crazy when you think about it. But yeah, I feel like it just feels like all of this is quite last minute and kind of a rush. So that's why it's a bit all over the place, if I'm being honest. Big on says maybe he thought the deal would go through more smoothly than it has. Yeah, I think so, man. I think, you know what it is, Monsignor? I feel like Liverpool have told him, listen, if you want this deal to go through, Newcastle are not going to just sell you. You're going to have to pick up a force to the point where they feel like they have to sell you because you're going to be a bit unruly kind of thing. You're going to not play ball. You're going to not be cooperative. You're going to not turn up for training. You're not going to be available. You're going to be injured all the time, quote unquote. So yeah, maybe they're basically saying you're going to have to kick up a force without actually handing in a transfer request to make them think, you know what, this is kind of not worth the hassle of keeping a player that doesn't really want to be here. We can still get 120, 30, 40 million for him, which will obviously double our money that we paid for Isak and then go on and get a replacement. So yeah, if he wasn't doing this, he was on pre-season tour. I can guarantee you now, Newcastle would have had the stance, especially to the media. Isak's happy. He's on preseason tour. He's got no reason to be sold. He doesn't want to leave, etc., etc. And Liverpool would have said, "Oh, we're wasting our time here." He doesn't really want to go in it, and we're not going to be able to convince Newcastle to sell him if the player is not pushing on his end. So yeah, I think it's a little bit of that as well, my bro. So there is some sympathy for the player. But Liverpool's bid was never going to be accepted. As things stands, Newcastle expect Isak to report back to training next week, which is obviously today, unless Liverpool return with a bid that meets the terms. So yeah, man, it'd be very interesting to see if he actually does come back to training and he's training with the Newcastle players. Because again, Newcastle, I think, have a couple of games still left, if I'm being honest. Still left, man. So yeah, it'd be very interesting to see what happens with that, man. Big up everyone in the building, man. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new. It says getting desperate. How much do Newcastle want? They want on scene 150 million pounds. Now, I don't know whether that could obviously get brought down, considering the fact that potentially you're looking at maybe potential add-ons and stuff like that, sell-on fee, etc. So there is ways to try and get around it, if we're being honest. Especially if you're looking at the fact that potentially Isak is pushing for a move, so maybe you could slash off maybe like a 10 million off it from the original 150. But even so, it's probably going to be maximum 10 mil, and even with that, they might actually want you to include that in the add-ons, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, I feel like there is going to be a little bit of compromise, but not as much as Liverpool are asking, because remember, that 110 is 110 all in. They want 150 all in. So, it's not like it's 110 plus 20 million add-ons or something like that to bring it to 130, which is kind of near enough close to what, obviously, they want. So, yeah, there's going to be a lot of negotiation skills for sure. Big one, seeing this transfer inflation is crazy. Only a few years ago, 50 million. For Isak type of player would be great. Yes, bro. I remember at the time when Arsenal were linked with it back in, I want to say 2022, when we had Lacazette and Eddie Nketiah, when we got rid of Aubameyang. I think it was the season afterwards we got rid of Aubameyang, the summer afterwards. We were linked with him in that January, and the news was coming out it was going to be around about 50 million pounds. And at the time, when you look at his stats, I think he got like 8 goals season before. He wasn't mad prolific, and obviously he was still young. But again, it was one of those ones where you kind of bank off potential. Obviously, for Newcastle, good for them. He's worked out and his potential has actually been fulfilled, and it's been amazing for them, especially because, again, I think they've definitely played to his strengths in terms of being a fantastic transitional player, as well as obviously being very, very good technically as well. Well, you see a lot of his goals in transition are very, very good. So I think going to Newcastle was probably the right club for him in terms of not having loads of pressure to score goals straight away. Because I think the first season he got, or in January, he got about 10 goals or something like that. And then that's when he spurs into life, got about 20, and then he continues to get 20 goals every single season. So, yeah. But yeah, I mean, you're completely right on the scene, man. Back then, 50, 60 mil for a striker, who, again, is not really properly proven in terms of scoring a load of goals would have been madness. So, to get him from that to 120, yeah, no player, in my opinion, is worth 100 mil anyway. Do you know what I'm saying? That's just my personal opinion. But again, this is kind of the money, the rate you got to pay, man. When obviously players like Alanga and Madueke, who are okay, decent Premier League wingers, I don't think they're on the upper echelon of the totem pole. When they're going for 50, 55 mil, then again, when you got better players, they're gonna be probably double. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, kind of crazy, really. Big up ST says, is it even legal to train with a club you're not contracted to, whilst the club you are contracted to? Sorry. Is on a preseason tour. Well, I don't think so, bro. I've never heard that in my life. I've never heard a team, especially without permission as well, because again, the only kind of, I'm trying to think of a player like David Beckham, for example. Back in the day, he used to train with Arsenal's actual first team when he was at, I want to say AC Milan. It could have been PSG, one of the two. This was during maybe the European winter break. So you train, keep fit, obviously use the facilities, but obviously you'd have permission from said club to do that. I've never known it in a pre-season or before the season starts, you training at another club while you're contracted to another club. It's kind of crazy, man. But yeah, it's a mad one. Bill SD says, Neymar Jr. 230 million transfer to PSG broke the market. Yeah, that was the one that broke the comments. But I feel like we were edging towards, not maybe that kind of obviously deal for a player. I feel like we were edging towards maybe getting higher transfer fees. Like when you see like Fernando Torres, for example, going to Chelsea for 50 mil. That was in January as well. It was kind of edging towards maybe the 50, 60, 70 mark. But yeah, that one was just unreal. Even like the kind of like Gareth Bale was, I think, 89. Ronaldo was 80. So you're getting towards the 100. And then, yeah, that one just out of the water, man. 200 mil. Like that. I feel like, again, at the time, Barcelona didn't think anyone was going to pay that. And obviously, PSG actually just paid it. Do you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that kind of definitely changed the whole trajectory of obviously the transfer market in the window. And then, yeah, you get players going like Declan Rice and Casado and Enzo for 100 million, which are midfield players. So, yeah, man, it's definitely changed it for sure. Obviously, on Liverpool website, it says Liverpool will return with a British record bid for Alexander Isak. Liverpool have not walked away from a deal for Alexander Isak and will submit a second offer should Newcastle make progress on signing the striker's replacement. The Premier League champions had a £110 million formal bid rejected on Friday. Subsequent claims from Merseyside then that they will not be returning to the table. However, Mail Sport understands that this is not the case, as Newcastle press ahead with deals for RB Leipzig, Benjamin Sesko, and Brentford's Wissa. They anticipate a much improved approach from the Anfield club. So yeah, man, I believe as well that they're going to come back with a record fee as well, man. I just think, again, it's one of those ones where Newcastle are not going to encourage it until they get their ready-made replacements in. Whether they get someone in that SESKO in is obviously another thing, because again, it is up in the air whether he's going to go to Manchester United or is he going to go to Newcastle. Again, Newcastle did make a bid at the weekend for it. So Newcastle are trying to get this deal over the line for Benjamin Sesko, man. They did make a bid at the weekend. I'll have to definitely have to get into that as well in a minute. But yeah, man, I do think Liverpool, if you're asking me, sorry, I think that Liverpool will sign Alexander Isak. However, I don't think he'll be straight away. I do think potentially they might have to wait for a couple of weeks until Newcastle sort themselves out. And yeah, I don't know whether it's going to be sanctioned in time before they obviously face each other second game of the season, isn't it? So on that Monday night. So yeah, very, very interesting though in terms of what's actually happening. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see for sure. Big up Unseen. It says, which Arsenal signing do you think will be the best this year, Tops? Big up yourself, man. Rick, that's a very good question. I've got to go for at the minute. I've got to go for Gyökeres. I think in terms of having a goal scorer in the team, having a proper number 9 in the team, yeah, I think it'll be a massive failure on the team, the coaching staff, everyone involved if this guy doesn't come in and score goals, for the simple fact that he's a goal scorer. You need to give him chances, though. Obviously, it can't be a case where he's not getting touches on the ball. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see how we obviously integrate him into the side, into the team. And again, he's a completely different striker to what we've had in 2 or 3 years for sure. So yeah, that's my personal opinion. I think it's going to be Gyökeres, but who knows, man? Who knows? Sometimes it's the signings that everyone doesn't like or rate. Like, for example, when we signed Ben White, Ramsdale, and all these guys that season, obviously, I was really down on both Ben White and Ramsdale, and they were probably 2 of the best players that we signed that year. Especially Ramsdale. Ramsdale was mad that season. So, yeah, man, it always doesn't really work out. The signings that you kind of not looking forward to sometimes end up being the best ones. We kind of get desensitized to how much money it actually is. Yeah, for sure, bro. For sure. Like, back in the day, I remember back in the day, man. Well, I say back in the day, about 20 years ago or whatever, spending like 30 mil, 25 mil on one player. It was like, wow, my days. Are you sure you want to do this kind of vibe? Now it's just like, you can't even get that for like a squad player. Do you know what I mean? You have to spend 40, 45 for a normal squad player. So yeah, it's kind of crazy. Bill ST says the best Arsenal signing will be Madueke. Raw, okay. Fair play. Hopefully he's good. Listen, like I said, it was nothing personally against Madueke. It was just a thing where I didn't think the club were making a good decision in terms of getting that particular player. But again, man, it's one of those ones where hopefully he comes in and does well, but we'll have to wait and see, obviously, because again, there's going to be a lot of pressure, not just on him, but on Arsenal in general, to actually do something decent this season and not do the normal kind of, okay, we kind of tried, we're in kind of in the title race, but we're not actually going to win anything. And then, yeah, it's rinse and repeat, you know what I'm saying? Kind of vibe, man. So, yeah, well, I definitely have to wait and see, man. But obviously, on to Newcastle, or stick it onto Newcastle, or it only makes sense. Where is the article here? It goes on to say Manchester United are ready to match Newcastle's offer for SESKO as deadline for decision emerges. So yeah, that's Benjamin Sesko. Man United are willing to match Newcastle's offer for Benjamin Sesko, with both clubs keen to wrap up a deal for the Leipzig striker. According to reports, the Red Devils are desperate to improve their forward line further after bringing in Matheus Cunha and obviously Brian Mbeumo. This summer, obviously, Man United did play yesterday, 2-2 draw against Everton, I think it is. I've seen some of the goals. But yeah, I don't know if they've improved that much. I don't know. Again, Mbeumo and Cunha are expected to come in and score goals straight away. You know how obviously the internet is, how Twitter is now. You have, look at Gyökeres, the abuse he was getting because he came on 10 minutes and didn't touch the ball. So that's just the way, obviously, social media is nowadays, man. You just got to take it on the chin for sure. But yeah, people are already questioning whether Cunha and Mbeumo is going to be a right fit. I do feel like they're both going to be good players for Man United. But again, It might even take them a few games as well themselves, man, to kind of settle in and obviously get used to different system, different standard of club, and also as well the expectation, man. We've obviously in Puema and with Cunha, you could go 4 or 5 games without playing particularly well, and no one's really going to say nothing because of the size of the club. With Man United, despite how bad they are, the size of the club, if players are not putting in performances after 4 or 5, the fans are going to be on you. So yeah, it's going to be a different kind of format, but we'll see how they get on. I feel like they will be good signings, nevertheless, though. Only 4 Premier League sides scored few goals in Man United last season, with the Ruben Amorim side finishing 15th in the table. They've been interested in obviously Liam Delap before he moved to Chelsea earlier in the transfer window, and now they've chosen their focus to focus their attention, on SESKO over Aston Villa's Ollie Watkins. Now, that's a very, very interesting decision to make, why they've gone for SESKO over Ollie Watkins. I think potentially they're looking at the longevity of both signings, thinking, well, Ollie Watkins is 30, going into 30 this season. How many years are we actually going to get from him if we're going to have to pay 60 mil? 2, 3, maybe max. And now we're going to have to then probably invest in that kind of position again. Whereas with Benjamin Sesko, if he's to hit, he's someone that obviously is in his early 20s. He could be your main striker for 4, 5, 6, 7 years, whatever the obviously time scale would be. And obviously you would get value for money from him obviously scoring and being a very good player for that period of time. So that's probably their thinking. Whether I agree or not, I don't know. I still think Ollie Watkins is a better player at this current moment. And potentially they might need to just get in Ollie Watkins right now to kind of steady the ship, get him in the same position. And then they could go on and maybe get someone of that kind of young kind of mold to go with him, so him to learn off, rather than just literally putting your hopes on Sesko, hoping he bangs and scores a load of goals in that time frame. Bill SD says, oh my God, by the way, Tops, did you see who's back? Yes, I did, bro. I didn't think it would happen, man. Pick up yourself, SD. The beast, man, is back. It's crazy. I was watching it as well, by the way. This is why I'm probably a little bit tired. But yeah, it was a madness. That's definitely the shock of the year for sure. I thought this guy was never coming back. I'll be honest, man. So yeah, absolute madness, man. I definitely need to do like a WWE show or something, man. So yeah, stay tuned for that. We'll probably be coming in the near future. Big up Unseen says, will Nani start over Martinelli? Potentially, bro. I feel like the PR that the club are giving about Madueke, that potentially can play on the left-hand side, is very versatile. I do feel you'll probably see games, especially at the start of the season, especially if we don't get another left winger, which I'm praying we do, man. I'm praying we still manage to get 2 more players at least in obviously before the transfer window closes. Still got a month to go. But yeah, I think potentially we could see the likes of Nani Madueke play on the left-hand side. How I feel about that, I don't really know. I've not really seen too much of him on the left. I know he played a few games toward the back of the last season for Chelsea on the left-hand side, but I don't know how competent he is on there, on that kind of left wing. But again, Martinelli has been so poor in the tour. Trossard's not really done too much either. Not just blaming them solely, because again, I still think that structure on the left it needs revamping at all. I think anyone that goes out there at the minute is just not going to be a very good player or a very effective player long term, because again, they're just very isolated. There's no combination play. There's no overlaps on the laps. There's nothing kind of to suggest anything that can create from that left-hand side on a regular basis. It's ironic. The only kind of time on that left-hand side within the last probably since Granit Xhaka left that Arsenal looked a bit competent or a bit unpredictable is when Calafiori's been playing left back going forward, because again, he provides some kind of different kind of runs, channel avenues, passes it in through the lines and that. So yeah, it's kind of crazy, man. A big on team says, or is he the other side? I think again, the remit is he's going to play both sides. He's going to cover Saka and potentially be on the left hand side as well. So we'll see how many times he's used on either side. That's going to be very interesting, to be fair, my bro. Big up Andy, man. Good to see you in the building, my brother. Hopefully you are well. This is Martinelli Havertz. Odegaard will remain the starters for the new season. Arteta has a blind stubborn faith in those 3. It is what it is. Says Andy, not obviously optimistic. And listen, bro, when you look at obviously the basis of how Arteta has used these players, it's hard to disagree with that, if I'm being honest, my brother. Hard to disagree, my guy. But what I will say, my bro, is that at least what you want to do is get some players in the door that can be an option to bring on and replace them, and then slowly integrate them into the starting lineup. Because again, I pretty much probably agree with you. To start off the season, he's going to have his favorites. He's going to have his Havertz, his older guys, his Martinelli's that he's going to start off. But what you do want is to get in, which you already have, a Gyökeres. But then you want to get in a left winger who can eventually replace these guys like Odegaard and Martinelli. So these are the bench guys, and now you got new, fresh kind of players that come in and do their thing. However, like obviously a few people have said over the last couple of week or so, it's not just a personnel issue; it's definitely a tactic issue as well. Like there's no point getting in these new players when they're all playing the same way. Do you know what I'm saying? They're all going to be playing like Martinelli in terms of how they're set up structurally. Like you don't want to see Gyökeres drop into midfield. You don't want to see Eze isolated on the left hand side. Same with the winger, where it's Leao, Rodrigo, whoever. You don't want to see them isolated and not be able to beat the fullback 1v1. So yeah, it's crazy, man. It's absolutely crazy. But we'll see, brother. We'll see. Big up AR, man, in the building, man. Big up yourself, brother. Good to see you in the building. Says big up T Chanzo Sports and the chat. How are you? I'm all good, brother. Obviously Monday morning and that. Good to see you in the building, my guy. Smash the likes and subscribe. Appreciate you, my guy. Appreciate you and the support. You never walk alone, of course. Pick up yourself every single time, my bro. Good to see you in the building. Andy said it's the hope that kills. Yeah, listen, it's true, man. This is what's being a fan, bro. This is what it's like to be a fan, Andy, bro. You probably know what's going to happen, but again, this is why you still engage, you still watch, because it's just like maybe might be a change, but we'll have to see, my brother. We'll have to see. You know what I'm saying? Season hasn't started yet, so hopefully we'll see some changes. But again, it's one of those ones, man. We just have to hope and pray. You know what I mean? Big ol' ST says only thing that would be more surprising than the Beast coming back into the ring. Sorry. Would be if the insane 5-time champion with the record amount of title defenses, T-Chanzo Tops, enter the ring. Big up ST, man. Of course, bro. Of course, here comes the pain. Here comes the pain. If you know, you know. But big up yourself for the comment, my G. Big up RA says, you watch Liverpool versus Athletic Bilbao 5 and 8 p.m. Yeah, I did hear about you guys playing the same team twice, but 2 different teams, I think. I think you did something similar last season. But yeah, I'll have to check it out for sure. If I've got time, man. But yeah, big up yourself and let me know when it is, my bro. Big up on scene. It says Tops versus Carlos. ST. Well, ST the ref, yeah, that's crazy. Big up Carlos every time, man, as well. Big up Andy says give Odegaard 100 passes. He's putting at least 80 of those to Saka. The left there, this is facts, bro. It's absolutely facts, man. Like again, and this is what I say, bro. It's not just a personnel thing, because again, as much as us fans are after or we have a go at like Odegaard and Ray and stuff like that, ultimately they're just doing what the manager's telling them to do. They're just doing what he's saying to do. And for that point of case, this is why I say the tactics have to change as well, because again, you can't be having Odegaard just keep passing to Saka, not kind of integrating and changing and doing different things. Why does he never go onto the left-hand side and help Martinelli? Just for not the fact that he has to do that every single time, but just for a different versatility aspect, man. Something that's unpredictable. If we know what's going to come, obviously fans know, obviously they watch the team every single week. They know what's going to come every single time. Players, managers, coaches that are defending against Arsenal are going to know to a T, okay, lock off that kind of link-up play with Odegaard, Ben White, and Saka, and you're pretty much home and dry in terms of attacking standpoint, because they're not going to do anything on the left. Striker's not really going to do anything unless you get service, which, again, it seems like because you've been playing with false nines for the last 3 or 4 years, it's like it's the striker's job to service other people rather than the whole team's job to service the striker, which is kind of, I say old school now, but should be a kind of a case where you need to kind of get into the habit of. Do you know what I'm saying? Manchester City had to make that kind of change when they brought in Haaland. They had to rearrange the whole team to make sure they kind of facilitated for Haaland to get chances to score goals. And potentially, we might have to do the same. Do you know what I'm saying? We might have to do the same, man, but we'll see. Big up ST says, unseen, I reckon Friday night in front of a solid crowd. I said, yes. And it's live. But yeah, man, back to obviously Man United quickly. He says, obviously, Man United are prepared to match a 80 million euro asking price, and Leipzig would be welcome. The bidding war, of course, this could obviously drag out for sure. But I feel like Newcastle, we've seen it before with Ekitike. They just pull themselves out and like, yeah, we're not going to be into a bidding war with Liverpool because they knew they're going to probably lose. It might be similar with this. This is why I feel like both teams are kind of want a decision in terms of, okay, which club do you actually want to go to? Then we'll just pull out, because there's no point going bar for bar, bidding. I feel like, again, that kind of era of 2 clubs bidding for a player, I think the last time I can remember it happening really is kind of the Declan Rice situation, where it's 2 kind of teams going after 1 player. But yeah, man, I think after that now, I can't really see teams doing that now, because again, it's more about getting the player on side first, making sure they really want to come to your club in particular, and that kind of just it just kind of shoos away any kind of other interest from the clubs, because the player is adamant he just wants to go to one particular club, which is obviously smart, because it allows you to then not pay over the yards, because now you're outbidding another team kind of thing. So yeah, says SESKO's agents are still in Leipzig. Negotiations are ongoing. Man United are ready to match Newcastle's offer. Everything just depends on SESKO. A top situation for Leipzig, who would welcome a bidding war. Newcastle's offer was attractive to Leipzig, but the payment structure would need to be adjusted. Pardon me. It says there has now been talk about a deadline for SESKO to give his decision on who he wants to join. Several meetings have been taking place in Leipzig today, with internal discussions at Leipzig to plan the possible strategy and talks about SESKO's camp at the club. So potentially there might be a deadline, like people are saying. After missing out on European competitions last season, Leipzig want to rebuild, and to do that, they need funds. Obviously, they're trying to sell 3 players: Openda, Simmons, and SESKO. Obviously, Simmons is looks like he's going to be Chelsea bound. Openda's been linked with Sunderland. I don't know how true that was, and a couple of other teams. I don't know if they're going to sell all 3. I got a feeling that Openda might Sorry, people. It just crashed. I don't know what happened there, man. It just crashed, didn't it? So I had to reset it, man. But big up everyone in the building. What the hell? Bill Andy says, Man United are screwed. They already spent 300 on the first day of the transfer market. They're still paying out the structural payments for the likes of Garnacho, 70 mil, for example. It's mad, bro. It's mad. Listen, I feel like, again, they are kind of going all for broke in terms of them obviously spending some more money on another striker before actually replacing or selling these kind of guys like Garnacho. I think they are very determined to obviously make sure they get someone in before the start of the season. They've got obviously Arsenal the first game of the season, as well as other players. So yeah, man, I feel like for me personally, they probably do need to sell the likes of Sancho on and Garnacho and all these kind of players that maybe might be surplus to requirements, before they end up buying more players. Because again, a lot of my United fans say they still need a goalkeeper. I've seen Fabrizio Romano saying this, they're going to be after a midfielder potentially as well. So yeah, man, there's going to be a lot of money for them to get back in the Champions League. I guess that's their kind of obviously target as well. So we'll have to wait and see, my bro. Has it gone silent for everyone else? Yeah, apologies, man. Apologies. It just kind of bugged out for sure. I don't know why. But I said, what the hell? Built Carlos in the building. But I said, what the hell? That's funny. Carlos, it must be your fault somehow. Says ST. We got ST. Andy, crush like Man United's future. LOL. That's crazy. That's nasty work, my guy. Nasty work. Built Chris in the building, man. What are you telling me, my bro? Hopefully you're well. Hopefully you're good. Good to see you in here, man. Pick up, mate. Hope you are well. All good, brother. All good, my guy. Just going through obviously the news about Liverpool potentially offering another bid to Newcastle about obviously Alexander Isak. Potentially after they get replacement in. Newcastle trying to get a replacement in, as well as Manchester United. They're both battling it out. But yeah, who is going to get him, man? And for how much as well? Obviously, Leipzig rejected a £70 million bid for obviously SESKO at the weekend from Newcastle. So that's obviously not going to be enough for them. They're going to want maybe more. I still think they probably want all in 90 million euros for SESKO, which again, you've got to really hope. I don't know if Man United do that, man. Can they afford a goalkeeper, a top quality midfielder? I don't know, because I don't think many people would have predicted them to be spending 100 and it'd be nearly 300 mil, like your man said. Really, they've already spent 130. This would be 80, another 80, then another keeper, then another midfielder. You are talking about probably about 300 mil right about this time. So yeah, man. But whether they do that, I don't know. But we have to see. Obviously, David Ornstein as well tweeted about Al Hilal have identified Darwin Núñez as a priority striker or target, stepping up their efforts to sign the Liverpool striker. No bid yet, but interest registered to LFC. Al Hilal plans to push for the 26-year-old, accelerate internally. Uruguay international receptive to possibility. So yeah, very, very surprised that he actually wants to go there. I thought somewhere in Europe would take him. But again, Al Hilal is probably the team that are willing to pay the most money for him. You're probably looking at 70 million euros, something like that, maybe even more, which again is a very good business considering a lot of Liverpool fans won't be obviously sad to see him obviously leave the club. So yeah, I do feel like again, it's crazy. Because Andy said the slander of these structured deals is if the player doesn't work out the money part for the following window is already taking hits. Yeah. It's true, very, very true. I mean, obviously, your man came out and said, I can't remember his name, man. Ineos, brother. Radcliffe, man. He came out and said they're still paying off Anana, they're still paying off Sancho, they're still paying off deals for players that they want to move on. Do you know what I'm saying? And they're still paying it off because, again, the structure of the payments, considering how much money they spent on these kind of guys. I think Rasmus was another one. Obviously, carries over season on season. So you're all right, bro. You're all right. I feel like they're possibly banking on the fact that maybe they'll get Champions League either next season after, but they'll definitely get Europe. So then that kind of Champions League money or revenue avenue can come in and obviously cover these kind of transfer fees during them particular seasons. Because again, it is a lot of outlay to do in one season without European football. Big up, Mayhem. It says, face the beast. What did you say? Call me deluded, humble. Obviously about Brock Lesnar coming back. Yeah, fair play. You did actually say that, to be fair. I just remembered. So big up yourself, my guy. But yeah, I'm all good. Thanks. Currently chatting with a girl in a minute. I'll big up yourself, Chris. Come on, G. Do your thing, my guy. Do your thing. Big up Mayhem says, watch Tell Me More. It's called Spurs. Spurs will forever be our just kidding, fella. Did you see what Sporting said about Gyökeres? He said, yeah, I did see that, man. No, but again, that's part of the social media error. It says, get me Colin. I need to cook that nerd. It says Mayhem. Build yourself, bro. But yeah, I did see that, man. But again, that's part of social media now, man. Listen, if you're off your game for 5 minutes, not even like a half, not even like a game. If you're off your game for 5 minutes, you're just gonna get banded in it, which is just part and parcel of it, man. Everyone has their turn. I suppose with any kind of club when they're kind of summer signing or signing. I mean, I seen a picture of Mbuemo yesterday. I think he's got his top off or whatever, or he's wiping his mouth with his shirt. And someone quote tweeted said, he looks like a Kinder Bueno, which is crazy, bro. That is a crazy slander name. Kinder Bueno is madness. I didn't even do anything. But so yeah, so this is how it goes, isn't it? It's crazy. You're gonna get cooked up, regardless of if you're doing well or not, innit? So yeah, is what it is. But obviously, more news about Chelsea. And Nkunku still planning to leave Chelsea this summer with talks ongoing. Nico Jackson can also leave before the end of the window in case of an important proposal. That is one to keep an eye on, man, for sure. I feel like it's definitely one to keep an eye on for sure, man. Look out for the likes of Aston Villa potentially, or even Man United if they can't get, or Newcastle because someone's not going to be able to get SESKO. Only one team is going to be able to get him. And you look at the alternatives, man. It literally is only Ollie Watkins and Jackson, bro. That's going to be on the market left, Premier League proven that you could possibly get. So yeah, that could be one that they maybe do a last minute kind of deal, man. Towards the end, but we'll see. Follows Chelsea exit plan with Gooey. Yeah, he's gone to Sunderland. I think obviously Bojan, where did he go? Is he Brentford or something? I can't even remember, man. João Felix obviously gone to Saudi. Tyreek George is on his way out, and Sterling is supposed to be going next as well. So yeah, a lot of outgoings for Chelsea, trying to obviously balance the books in terms of like getting more players out the door and to trim the squad numbers. So yeah, we'll see if they can get them kind of deals done and whatnot. So. But yeah, man. Man said Bill ST. Chris sliding into girls' DMs faster than Odegaard passes to Saka. Come on, G. Big up Christian, my G. Big up ST as well. That's crazy funny, man. Big up Carly says, bro, I'm off work. Oh, what? Straight my car plate. Brother, I'm telling you, man. What's my man say, bro? Leave the game before the game leaves you, my G. Big up Carragher, you know. Oh, brother, I'm telling you, playing football on Saturday, I got a grade 1, you know, self-diagnosis and that. Yeah, time to retire. Yeah, wrap it up, fam. Wrap it up. Wrap it up, bro. It's done. You did your bit anyway, man. But yeah, lock it off, bro. Trust me, it ain't worth it, fam. I'm telling you, bro. It's not worth it. That's the legal issues, Colin, 2025, dum-dum. 2025, SummerSlam. As things stands, if the window was to shut now, where are you putting us to finish in the league? Bro, I predicted third. I think third is where we're going to finish. If I'm being honest, I think Liverpool will be top, Man City second, Arsenal third, Chelsea fourth. But yeah, again, the window's not closed. Hopefully, we can add some more players because I just don't feel like we've made enough changes from the starting lineup. Only Gyökeres potentially. I like your man said. It might be Andy as well. Like Andy said, it could be Havertz starting up front for the start of the season. That would not surprise me if he's starting at Old Trafford. I won't be like, oh my god, I can't believe this is happening. Like, obviously, Arteta does have the guys that he prefers to play week in, week out. Odegaard being one, even when he's obviously not playing well. Havertz, he always managed to get into the team when it's midfield, up front. Again, even Martinelli gets a lot of chances. So yeah, but yeah, I just feel like we've not made enough change to the starting lineup, personnel-wise, and also tactically. For what I've seen at pre-season, I watched all 3 games. It's exactly the same on how we played last year. Literally exactly the same. There's no changes. Even with the likes of Zubameni coming in here or there for a couple of minutes or starting a couple of games, it's still pretty much the same kind of tactics in terms of what we're trying to do. So that needs revamping, man. That whole thing needs changing up, shaking up, whatever you want to call it. Can you do it in 2 games at the Emirates before the start of the season? I highly doubt it, but you never know. So yeah. But yeah, that's my prediction, man. You have to let me know what you think as well, my bro. Says Son to LA. Here we go. Yeah, he's going. He's left Spurs. And yeah, obviously it's one of those ones, man. Lies Carlos, you don't play football, says Taryn. That's correct. Oh my days. The longer Newcastle can't get a striker, the less chance of Isak going to Liverpool. It's perfectly clear Isak isn't going anywhere until Newcastle gets someone over the line. Facts, bro. This is what I've been saying though, brother. Like, again, it's one of those ones where with these kind of major deals, man, these clubs are not gonna do anything until they know a man is coming through the door that they can actually rate and rely on and whatnot before they end up getting. Because again, Newcastle are in a position where they weren't expecting to sell him Isak this summer. Liverpool kind of stuck it on him. Isak's kind of made it difficult for Newcastle to keep him because, again, he's obviously being unruly, not turning up to training over obviously teams, not come to pre-season. So, but even with all that being said, they're still saying, nah, we need a replacement in. He's literally our best player. We need to get someone that potentially could be at his level. And again, I think SESKO would be the perfect kind of player for obviously Newcastle and the perfect team for SESKO. Can play Champions League football. There's not massive expectations in terms of, for example, if he doesn't get 25 goals first season, Newcastle fans are not going to be like, oh, just get rid of him. It's going to be a thing where they're going to be a bit more patient with him than maybe a Man United team or an Arsenal team who want to get back to the top as soon as possible. And it's like, well, if we've already been scarred, especially Man United with Rasmus Højlund, this potential kind of player. We're not going to be waiting 2-3 years for another guy that potentially is not going to be good enough anyway. So, yeah, I think Newcastle will probably be better fit. But again, Man United are a bigger club. So it just depends what kind of you want long-term. Maybe long-term it might be better to go to Man United because, again, they might think, well, they're going to heavily invest in their team, which they already have this season without European football. Newcastle are not really doing that. They've got Alanga. They can't really get other targets over the line. They're only getting SESKO to replace a massive player that's leaving. So when you look at it like that, it's like, are they actually going to progress further than they actually are now? Who knows? So, yeah, a lot of things to think about, man. A lot of things to think about. I can see both angles, to be fair. I can. Yeah, Darren, he plays belly ball. That's crazy. The Champions of England. 0 sleep in 48 hours. I can still cook a bit. I think Newcastle have one of the worst transfer winners in it. Yes, ST, I agree. I feel like pound for pound, bar for bar, with what, because again, regardless of even what's actually happened off the pitch, they haven't won a preseason game yet. They've lost 3. I think they drew with Spurs 1-1 yesterday, I think it was. So, yeah, they've not won a preseason game yet. They've lost 3, drawn 1 out of 4. And also, again, their best player wants to leave. They can't get any of their key targets over the line. They're having to get, obviously, Aaron Ramsdale was a backup. They wanted Trafford again. Alanga, they've got potentially to play with Isak because, again, they're both Swedish as well. And I think they're best friends, I think. But now Isak's going anyway. So, I don't know, man. It's kind of a sticky one still. Isak, Isak won't play for Newcastle. If they don't get anyone, Isak won't play. Potentially, he might have to go on strike. And now they're going to get taken for a mug by so many clubs who are overcharged. This is the thing, ST. I feel like, again, that's why they're trying to get the replacement in first, so they avoid that kind of scenario you're saying. Because, again, if every club sees that they've got 130 in the bank, 140 in the bank, they're going to be charging maximum dough, bro, premium, especially because they know Newcastle are going to be desperate to get striker in before the start of the season. So, yeah, I think they're trying to do it the other way. Pay, and this is why I think they're quick to put the money down for SESKO. Like, yo, for an opening bid, man, because I think Arsenal were kind of toying the idea of trying to bid like 60 million euros, kind of build up to it. But again, they're just gone 75, which they're happy with the amount. I think it's the payment structure and maybe the kind of the add-ons that were included. And when they would get the money, which is kind of the sticking point. So, yeah, man, they are not messing about. I think they want to get it done before he ends up changing his mind or ends up picking Man United. And then they're going to be looking around thinking, oh, we've not really got anyone we really want to get to replace Isak, really. Do you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, they screwed themselves. Should have never backed out of the Ikatike race. Yeah, I mean, you know what as well, Darren, though? I feel like, again, maybe they didn't want the shame of obviously losing out to another Premier League team. Because again, Ikatike was always going to pick Liverpool over Newcastle, unfortunately for them, when it comes to it. And again, maybe they didn't want to, because it's one of those things where it's kind of different now when in terms of races. When the kind of player says they want to go to that particular club, there is literally no point bidding for the player because he doesn't want to come to you. He wants to come to that club. That club have got all the power now and can be like, you know what, he only wants to negotiate with us because he wants to come to us. He doesn't want to come to said team. We might as well just pull out because it's just wasting our time. We're not going to get the player if the other team bids for the proper amount. Sorry. So yeah, man, it's one of those ones, man. It's one of those ones for sure. But Liverpool definitely kind of did them dirty a little bit then. Isak will be a Liverpool player by the end of the window, in my opinion. I agree. I still think you'll get them, man. It's just going to be one of those kind of drag out sagas that they'll get the replacement in with whoever it's SESKO or someone else, and then you'll probably bid maybe 130, 140, and you'll probably get him, man. So yeah, I fully expect that to happen. But yeah, watch the Man United game. They look better in quality and more fluid with Mbeumo and Cunha at strike. Okay, I only seen the goals, bro, so I didn't actually watch the game. So very interesting, man. Very interesting. We'll have to wait and see what happens, obviously, at the start of the window. Again, there was always going to be, obviously, a bit of improvement. I didn't think they'll finish 15th again. However, I do feel like they do need to make a very good start. And they have got some difficult fixtures. So we'll have to wait and see how they kind of incorporate that. And people were saying on Twitter that they still need some, obviously, quality in midfield. In terms of obviously an improvement on Agate and potentially to someone to go obviously to play next to Bruno. So whether they get that or not, I don't know. But yeah, Cunha and then Buemo definitely is a massive upgrade on Højlund and Zertsky, let's be honest. So it's no surprise there. Big up Mayhem says, where is the blade? No, Arsenal chill for 2 months. Give me the blade. Says Mayhem. Andy says, having been an avid football fan for 40 years, the Northern clubs have always struggled to get top talent, to sign top talent. Yeah, I don't know what it is, bro. I don't know whether it's because people don't want to live there or what it is, or the stature of the club. But again, Newcastle Newcastle as a fan base have an amazing fan base, great stadium. They always back your team. Maybe they don't have the history into this, like winning trophies and stuff like that. But I don't know, man. It's a bit of a strange one how they can't really get targets where you're not even looking at thinking these are like world-class players. You know what I'm saying? If it was like kind of an era where you're trying to get these kind of world-class players for the door, you could have kind of agreed, think, okay, cool. But yeah, it's kind of a strange one, man. Considering even when we look at, like, for example, Spurs, they managed to get someone like a Berbatov and or Modric or Van der Vaart, something like that, players like that. But yeah, it's crazy, man. And where Newcastle don't really have that kind of lineage in terms of getting those top echelon players or players that are on the cusp of being really, really good. They won't normally have to mold them into being really good at the time. Do you know what I'm saying? So I don't know what it is, man. I don't know what it is for sure. How many beanies does Tops have? Make a I don't even know how you do a poll, you know. I need to find that still. I don't even know how you do one, fam. But build it yourself, man. Imagine how many beanies do I have. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. Striker-wise, who is left available for Newcastle? Watkins, Wissa, and SESKO. If I'm Newcastle, I'm forcing. Yeah, listen, I'll be the same, bro. I'll be planning. Because again, they are in a strong position. He has got 3 years left. So it's up to him whether he's going to go on strike for the whole season. I mean, it's one of those ones where it's like, well, for me, it's like, okay, cool. Because again, the reports are saying that basically he's going to have to sign a new contract with a release clause or be sold. One of the two. Him staying on the current deal is at, I mean, it's like 120 grand a week. He don't want to do that anymore. He wants obviously a pay rise, whether it's at Newcastle or Liverpool, but preferably Liverpool. Obviously wants to go there. So yeah, I think again they're gonna have to try and commit to maybe a long-term contract and have a release clause in there that will be viable for him to go next season. But again, it's going to be difficult for someone to pay the release clause all in full, unless it's kind of a payment like the Eze one, where it's half here, half another season kind of thing. So yeah, man, very, very difficult, very, very difficult. Wissa is the best for the bunch. I said I rate Trossard just not good enough for Arsenal. He will talk about it. You know what, Trossard, the last season where I feel like he definitely dropped off a little bit. Maybe it's decline. Maybe obviously he's coming to an end in terms of his age wise and stuff like that. He's been a very good player for us, man. Like he's been a very good 12th man, like substitute, someone that can come in, fill in, score crucial goals here or there. Can obviously play a decent part when other players are out of form. And yeah, I think he's been very good in that. And for 25 mil, I think he's been very good, very, very good. However, I do feel like it's probably, again, Carlos mentioned it a couple of streams ago, selling at the right time is very crucial, man. Sometimes players are slowly declining, slowly coming to an end in terms of playing at the top level. Then you just kind of get some money for and move them on. Do you know what I mean? Before you end up having a player that really doesn't really kind of contribute at all. Do you know what I'm saying? Which is what you don't want, man. Because again, I feel like when you're in that situation, in that position, it's very, very difficult to see how they are obviously very, very useful going forward when it comes to playing for a team on a regular basis, man. It's very, very, very difficult, man. But yeah, man, obviously going on to that, considering obviously you mentioned it might as well. Because yeah, also I have no intention of paying the Eze release asking price, with the first bid expected early next week. Which is obviously this week. It says Arsenal ready to make an opening offer for Crystal Palace playmaker Eze. According to reports, Mikel Arteta has welcomed 6 new players so far and is hoping to make Eze number 7. The England international is impressed with 5 years. That's also, he's been there 5 years. That's gone quick. Obviously scoring the winner last season. They paid around £17 million for Eze to QPR. He scored 34 goals in 164 games. He cemented his status as a club legend with his Wembley winner, but Eze could leave Palace this summer after obviously leading to the first ever trophy in the club's history. Eze appeals to Arsenal due to his ability to play on either wing as a 10 or in a midfield 3. Well, of course, because he's very good at football as well. Goddard supporters feel like Arteta should add an elite winger to get the club over the line in the Premier League and Champions League, but player sales are necessary for that to happen. So that's obviously separate to the Eze deal. Martinelli would surely have to leave if Arsenal want to sign an out winger. though the sale of him or like Leandro Trossard are not needed to buy the Crystal Palace star. I've heard that before, that we actually don't need to sell to get Eze in. And the first bid is imminent according to Football Transfers. And the report says that Arsenal are preparing the first bid to sign Eze, who they released from their youth academy at the age of 13. We could have avoided all of this if we just kept him at the academy. We would have just had him already. Arteta's side are expected to make their opening bid early next week, with a total package expected to be worth £52 million. I don't think they're going to accept that. To be honest with you, I think you're probably going to have to still bid the amount of money the release clause is, but maybe in more favorable kind of structure than rather than paying the 35 up front, because 35 is a lot, to be fair, up front in 1 year. Because I think we paid less than that for Declan Rice, and that was 105 mil. I think we paid like 30 up front for the first year. I think it was. So to do that in a deal at 68 is kind of mad. I'll be real up front, man. But again, it's one of those ones where I think the amount of money is fine. If I'm being honest, it's just maybe the payment structure, especially if you want to do more business this summer, is one of the ones that are kind of holding everything back. Palace's asking price is the player's £68 million release clause, so the offer will likely be rejected. This is what I'm saying, man. So yeah, kind of a similar situation with the Liverpool Isak thing. Like, obviously, you're going in kind of lowballing to start off with, and then hopefully they can try and come to an agreement. Oliver Glasner's side are weighing up potential replacement with Leandro Trossard, and Newcastle, West Ham United's Lucas Paquetá, who obviously his charges were dropped with the whole betting allegation. So I'm surprised, man. I mean, I suppose Man City have got Renders and obviously Shirky now. So, but yeah, that's actually peak. He would have got a Manchester City move a couple of years ago. So he's kind of messed it up for himself, man. But I can see him going out and going somewhere else for sure. What's going on? Oh, sorry, I ain't even seen the chat, bro. Big up Chanzo, big up yourself, Tyrell. Gonna TV, man. Hopefully you're well, my guy. Big up yourself. Newcastle are still hold all the aces. If Isak goes on strike, Newcastle can find his wages. That effectively takes him off the wage bill, forcing the player to have to play. Yeah, and again, with you know what it is? It's the 3 years left, bro. It's the 3 years left. I feel like but again, I suppose it is down to Eddie Howe. Does he want to obviously do this kind of back and forth with the player and a manager? Because again, it depends how much power he has. He might be a manager that's like, you know what? I want this guy out, man. He doesn't want to play for the club. Obviously, he's just holding up the thing. Like, I just want this guy out. If that's the case, then yeah, they're just going to get rid of him in it. So, I don't know, man. Man said, I've been listening on mute due to a work call, so I couldn't hear from your thoughts on my injury. Oh, I said, listen, like Carragher says, leave the game before the game leaves you, my G. But yeah, no, big yourself, man. It's not worth it, bro. Like, yeah, you've done your bit, you've done your best, and yeah, man, just wrap it up now, fam. Because again, these injury things, it's no joke, G. It's no joke. It's long. It's very long. So yeah, it ain't even worth it, fam. I'll be real. Just do your thing at the gym, man, and keep it moving, car. Yeah, the football thing, when he gets a certain age, man, it's just too much wear and tear, G. I'll be honest. It's too much wear and tear, fam. But big up yourself. Hopefully you make a swift recovery and all that good stuff. But yeah, calf injury, long. You know those muscle injuries, man, the calf, the groin, bro, they're a headache because they're kind of injuries, yeah, that they take time to fully get back to how they were before. And there's no kind of like set date in it. It's just like, okay, it's feeling a little bit better. You try and do a bit of work on it, and then, it hurts a little bit now. So yeah, you can't really be, you get me? Man said, Darren, fake injury. Well, why you say it's a fake injury? Man said earlier that you don't even play football. What was it? Why? Belly ball or something, you said. That's crazy. No sympathy for you, Carlos. Man said, he wants sympathy blood. I got time off work. Big up Darren says, Arsenal doing their usual Arsenal bullshit. I will be looking to sign Lookman on the left. Oh, yeah, it looks like he has collapsed. Obviously, I seen Lookman put in a transfer request. I'll be all over that as well, bro. I think Lookman's very underrated, man. I feel like if he was doing what he was doing, I think a lot of people are still kind of stung by the whole situation that happened, obviously, when he was in the Premier League. Didn't really catch the light. I think it was Everton, Fulham, and Leicester. I think it was the three clubs he was at. Didn't really catch the light on any of them, really. So I feel like people like, don't really rate him like that. But I think he's a good player, man. I think he's a very good player, actually. So yeah, it'll be very interesting. But yeah, I'll be all over that, man, especially with the kind of fee that it's looking like it's going to be about. Because I think Atlanta are not happy with the fee that the Inter Milan are trying to come with. I think they're coming with 40 million euros, which is about 32 million pounds, which is not a lot, especially in this growing market. But bro, if you paid £50 million for him, I wouldn't be sneezing at it for sure. I'll be like, yeah, cool. You know what I'm saying? Keep it stepping, man. Man said, that makes sense, and Arsenal never do what makes sense. Lies, Carlos. You don't. I see you don't have a job. That's nasty. Big up Darren, you know. That's funny, you know. I said, hello, all this Darren guy talks. Hey, today he chose violence. I don't know why. Today he chose violence, bro. Bro, how are you watching this on mute? LOL, big up unseen, my brother, you know. Come on, G. What's it? Trossard out, Lookman in, Martinelli to the bench. In my opinion, listen, I'd happily take that, man, for sure. Eze and Lookman in, Martinelli. I mean, I think you're probably gonna have to, yeah, Trossard out, Martinelli to the bench, and Eze and Lookman in. I'll take that for sure. I think you've got different players in there now with different kind of capabilities. A lot of dribblers that we need. We ain't got that many dribblers, bro. That's one thing I say about Madueke. He's actually a guy that can dribble into space. And someone that we actually need for sure. I said just glazing at tops in the corner. We're laughing emoji. Mazza Carlos, that I'll be the army of this generation. I said injury throw. That's crazy. I said P pause. Crazy, bro. I said P moderating the chat blood. You wouldn't know about that. We were laughing emoji. That's nasty. That might be a yellow. That might be a yellow, man. I said, what's the employment rate in Jamaica, Darren? Yeah, yeah, that might be a straight red as well. That might be a red card. I'll be real. That might be a red. You might have to go off for that one still. That's nasty work. Nasty work, brother. Oh, my Lord. Pick up the chat, man. Make sure you guys like on the video, subscribe to the channel, man. What's going on, people? Obviously, for Richard and Romano. Here we go. We're homing song, man, to LAFC, joining the likes of Olivier Giroud and Hugo Lloris. Verbal agreement in place for all parties. Son ready to complete his move to MLS with Spurs due to receive. That's not bad, you know. 50 million euros, 12 million pounds, 11 million pounds for like that. That's not bad for a guy that potentially, again, is. I think might have 1 year left anyway. So yeah, Son didn't travel back to the UK with Spurs as he's waiting for his documents to be signed with LAFC. So yeah, he's off to America. And yeah, I think potentially they're definitely gonna have to make a signing in that kind of area as well. So yeah, man, you got it. Here we go. Como, nearly signing. Bro, this guy's had so many clubs, bro. He's had so many. I swear, he never lasts more than 2 years at a team before he's off. He's had so many teams, bro. At Galatasaray last year before he was at AC Milan. Yeah, man, crazy. It seems like an age he was at Chelsea, so he's had so many clubs since then. But yeah, I think it'll be a good signing for Como, to be fair. Don obviously can do a job there, but yeah, he's going to be on his way to Serie A. This is a strange one, and I feel like more Premier League teams definitely should be after this. Besiktas, I've sent a formal bid to Leicester for Wilfred Ndidi as a potential option for midfield. Talks ongoing, man. I definitely feel like Ndidi should be. He definitely could suit one of the kind of mid-table teams, something like that. You look at Brentford, who have just lost Norgard. Him getting someone like Ndidi would be a good replacement. I know like Henderson, but I think Ndidi's still a better player than Henderson at this moment in time. But yeah, I rate Ndidi, man. I feel like he's a bit underrated still. But yeah, it looks like he's going to Turkey and leaving the English league, man. Big up everyone in the building, man. Make sure you guys like on the video and subscribe. Man said, don't let me hop on the laptop, bro. I'm ready for war. This week I will be, yeah, obviously he's off work, man, G. So yeah, this week he will be active. Man said, better than your Darren going bar for bar, you know, better than your footballing ability. That's crazy. Petition for Tops to start arriving in the chat. Carl suspended every other day. They got unseen, man. It's worse than Liverpool's. Oh my god, this chat's too funny, man. This chat's too funny. I swear. Big up everyone in the building, man. Obviously, that's the confirmation that João Paulinho has joined Tottenham on an initial loan deal from Bayern Munich. Salary covered by Tottenham and a €30 million Euro buy option clause not mandatory. Obviously, rivalry aside, I do think this is a very good signing for sure. I do think it's a very good signing. I think he was a very good player at Fulham. I don't know what's happened at Bayern Munich. Maybe he's been out of favour. I don't know whether it's because obviously company came in and stuff like that. I not really fancied him, but other than that, man, I still think he's he'll still provide a very good option for Spurs because they've not really had a out-and-out DM for a minute now. I know they've got Basuma and Sarr, but they're two players that even though they sit, they do like to go forward, both of them. But I feel like Paulinho is definitely there to be a destroyer, win the ball back, be very, very disciplined in that area. So, yeah, I think it will actually help their midfield structure a lot. Yeah, this was one that came out of nowhere, man. Arsenal have made an approach for Jeremy Jacquet as a new defender. in case of the exit of Zinchenko or Kivior. Rennes considered the defender not for sale this summer after extending his contract in May. Obviously, also still remain keen on the defender. Also, eventually for 2026. So that kind of suggests potentially we might loan him out, buy him and then loan him back. But yeah, very, very strange on this one. Again, centre back. But again, he's not a player that's like replacement for Kivior or Zinchenko because he's a centre back. These guys have been left-sided, either left back for Zinchenko, or obviously, I mean, Kivior's playing left back as well, or left-sided centre back. So I don't know, man. It's funny when we're linked with defenders, it's full steam ahead. Do you know what I'm saying? But when it's attackers, we just drag our feet. So I don't know. That's definitely one to watch, maybe towards the end of the window. But we shall see, man. Big up everyone in the building. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel. Man said, Ndidi had a cold period at DM. He should have left at his high point. Yeah, for sure. Man said, I got myself and my nephew. Oh, swear. Tickets for the Chelsea and AC. Yeah, man. Get yourself down there for sure. For the Chelsea and AC Milan game at the Bridge on Sunday. What? £50? You are going mad. You are going mad, bro. £50 for a friendly is crazy. Crazy. I remember when I went to the Emirates Cup, that was like £15, bro. And I was like, and I remember at the time, I kid you not, I was thinking, gee, £15 for a friendly is kind of steep still. I remember thinking that at the time. Obviously, compared to that, it's freaking chalk and cheese. But obviously, it's a friendly, innit? So it's like, bro, these things need to be going for £10, bro. It literally is a friendly. Like, there's nothing at stake. It's not an official game. It's just excuse me. It's just a friendly. You don't even know what kind of team's gonna be put out. If you're gonna see any of the star players, sometimes it's kind of young players, which is fine. But again, fans are paying to pay. Fans are paying to see your major star players. But yeah, I remember at the time thinking £15. Okay, cool. 50 quid is crazy. That is crazy, bro. I can't even lie. That's nuts. Big ol' Andy says I don't want Kivior to leave. Those 10 games, when he stepped off for Gabby, Saliba was actually the more. Yeah, facts, bro. Facts. And what I always say about Kivior is that the one good thing I say about him is he's always available. Whether you need him at left back, left-sided centre back, right-sided centre back. The guy he's always available, bro, to come in and step in. Whether he rates quality or not is obviously another thing. But I agree with you, bro. I feel like he did very well in the last 10 games. And even in preseason, he's probably looked one of our better defenders, if I'm being honest, throughout the 3 games. So, yeah, man, I'd be keeping him personally. The only thing is, if he wants to leave and obviously get guaranteed game time, then he might, quote-unquote, force his way out of the club. So, yeah, man. But, yeah, other than that, bro, I feel like potentially it's one of those ones where you got to just look at it thinking, well, maybe we need to kind of keep him for sure. Brother, an under 20 ticket for my nephew. Oh, my God. So you pay 90 quid? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. These men are not serious, fam. That is crazy. £40 for a friendly for a 14-year-old. What are we doing here? What are we doing? Master Champions League fixture used to be 35. Bro, I remember I paid, it was when Arsenal in the Europa League. Bro, I paid that £20. We played AC Milan. So I think that must have been the quarters, isn't it? Bro, I paid that £20 to go, bro. Quarter final of a Europa League game, 20 quid. Now we're paying 50 for friendlies. Well, they've gone mad. Bro. They've gone mad. That's ridiculous, Carlos. Bro, that's crazy, man. That is craziness. I can't believe that you're paying that, man. That's mad. Man said, surely not filling the stadium at that rate. Brother, mate, you know what it is? I feel like, because again, people were saying, even over, obviously, for the Arsenal tour in Hong Kong, the guys that went over there, obviously off of AFTV or whatnot, they were saying that tickets were like £200. And that's mad. £200 for a friendly. And again, obviously, people are going to pay it because it's the only time in the year they're going to see also play live games. So they're kind of they're taking advantage of it. I can't lie. That's craziness, man. But yeah, it backs obviously Chelsea and whatever. That's mad. And I suppose I'd be very interested. I might actually check after this stream as well how much the Emirates tickets are for obviously the Emirates game on Wednesday, and obviously, I mean, the Sunday game, or is it Saturday or Sunday, whatever day it is. I don't think that's an actual Emirates game, but yeah, I'll definitely have to check how much that is as well, man. It says, how will you survive after? Man said, I'm gonna have to sell a goat, bro, like they do in Jamaica. You're mucking it. That's how Chelsea can keep spending. Mad. Nah, but yeah, on a serious note, man, them ticket prices are ridiculous, bro. Ridiculous, man. ridiculous, especially for a friendly. Do you know what I'm saying? That's mad. Even if you pay, because obviously it's weird how they do it. Because again, you look at the Premier League away games, they have a cap of £30, don't they? So when I went to, I think it was Manchester City away, I think I only paid like £28 or something. So and that's a Premier League away game, bro. So yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. But yeah, I just don't understand it really, if I'm being honest. I think they're just kind of taking advantage of ever since after COVID. I say, that's when the bump in prices of certain games just kind of just went whoop, and just went kind of mad, if I'm being honest. So yeah, but big up everyone in the building. Make sure you guys like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you want to become a member. It's in the chat somewhere. I need to pen it actually, but yeah, it's in the chat as well. 99p, all that good stuff. Let's go through some of the kind of the recent transfer news. Kim Min-jae could be on his way to Saudi. Which obviously he was supposed to be one of the top centre backs in the Bundesliga, but yeah, not really looking like he's going to stay at Bayern Munich. Obviously, that's news about Darwin Núñez potentially going to Saudi as well. Liverpool are waiting an official bid. They're looking like they're going to get around about 70 million euros, which would be a very good piece of business as well, by the way. They did sell that another player as well. I just seen it the other day. Tyler Morton for like 15 mil. Never heard of this guy. Never heard of this guy, bro. But yeah, man, big up for them selling him as well. I said, yeah, the Man City away in FA Cup. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. 30 quid, man. 30 quid. That's what I mean. And at the time, I suppose when you went as well would be the same. Obviously, they were like the Premier League champions, so you would assume you're going to be paying over the odds to obviously go there kind of thing. But yeah, it was kind of just standard kind of fee, which you're like, yeah, cool. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, man, paying 50 for friendlies is madness, especially at your own stadium. It's wild, bro. Absolutely wild. Pretty sure our Saints tickets were about £5 on Saturday. Listen, cheap as chips, bro. But again, to be fair, that's class, man. Because again, that's what it should be. £5, £10, like nothing major, bro. Like you can't be paying 50 quid for a friendly. That's madness to me. 100%. Vibes Cartel in Birmingham. They laugh my ass off. Standing 175 quid. Oh my god. Yeah. That. Yeah, he's been greedy. I can't lie. That's crazy. 175 quid is nuts, bro. That is nuts. I think I paid when I seen J. Cole. I think it was like £35, £40, and he was hot then. So yeah, 175 standing as well. When I seen the 50 cent, that was like a year ago. I paid like 50 quid, bro, and I was sitting. Oh my god, yeah, these men have lost it. Man. Mayhem says, can you do Arsenal today, not tomorrow? I asked Colin to stream today. I was cooking. Says Mayhem. The Saudi needs to be abolished. I can't lie. This is unseen. With the movie, man says smoked. Carlos, you have tops, and I get Colin deal. Doing nothing for the game. Grassroots out there, says unseen. Yeah, for sure, man. I feel like again, when it comes to this whole situation about obviously grassroots and stuff like that, you're not putting back into the clubs in terms of like trying to build up the academy, trying to obviously improve them from a standpoint of trying to get better quality coaches in, better quality players in terms of how they're coached from the off route, encouraging more players to obviously play. Because again, there is kind of not that kind of plethora of players that are playing week in, week out when it comes to a younger age compared to back in the day where everyone wanted to be a footballer. Now everyone wants to be a streamer. Let's be real. Like, not the quality in terms of all the amount of kids that are playing outside sports has definitely decreased compared to a couple of years ago, 10 years ago, even before COVID, even after COVID. So yeah, it's definitely going down, man. So yeah, I feel like kids definitely need to be more encouraged to do outdoor sports, in my opinion, to kind of carry this thing on for sure. COVID didn't just bump up the prices of football; it was everything. Yeah, for sure, bro. It was always going to be the case, man. I feel like that was kind of an excuse just to do it. Do you know what I mean? Because again, I remember, for example, like a loaf of bread was like 28p, for example, and like a non-branded bread. Now it's like 85p for the same bread. Yeah, there's even like milk, man. Milk's like £2 for milk. It's like, nah, you had a buck in it. You want to take in a mick, but yeah, it's just a cash farmers league. Says unseen. I no longer cook Colin and Tops. I've won the war for the next 4 years. They adjust me as world boss. That's madness. That is madness. Man thinks it's cartel. They got sat down. I said, world horse, world boss. I won't let you boss Man United. Núñez leaving is bigger than signing any players. Chris, I've never, fair enough, you've kept it consistent. I've never known a Liverpool fan not like Diaz and Nunes as a collective as much as you, bro. So pick yourself up. I said, no, Tops, you can't hate on Treemers. I'm not hating, I'm just saying, bro. Again, it's not balanced, in it. Like back in the day, everyone was playing out, everyone was on their bikes, everyone was playing football, everyone was just active out in the bits. Now it's just literally everyone's just indoors playing either streaming or obviously playing online. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's no kind of balance between the two things. You know what I mean? Whereas before, like, don't get me wrong, I used to obviously play back in the day consoles as well, but I feel like it was definitely more balanced. Like, there'll be a period where you play a console, even like in the same day, you might have like an hour, for example, on a console, and then go out for probably 4 hours. Now it's like they're on consoles for like the whole day, bro. 8, 9, 10 hours they're playing. You see the kind of hours they're putting in on like FIFA or COD or whatever, bro. It's like 2,000, 3,000 hours, man. Like, it's craziness. So yeah, man, I think it's definitely different for sure. Big up Carlos says it's defo parents that push football now, not the kids. Kids want to stay inside. Parents see that, yeah, 100%, bro. Parents think like, you know what, potentially if this kid does really, really well, that's me set for life. If he gets put in certain academies, gets put obviously through the youth system, gets put part of the first team, gets his major contracts, etc. This is how they're thinking long term. So it's kind of like a quote unquote investment. Do you know what I'm saying? Whereas, yeah, you're right. The kids nowadays, man, they're just like, you know what? My favorite kind of inspiration is KSI, for example, which is obviously nothing wrong with that. Big up KSI for doing his thing, but it's kind of like there's no kind of like balance between like having someone that's actively out in doing their thing in sports or something like that you can actually try and emulate rather than having someone that's always indoors. Because again, I feel like it's making a lot of kids socially awkward as well, a little bit as well, because they're not interacting with other kids on a regular basis in the real world. It's more like online streaming, chat rooms, etc., man. So yeah, it's crazy how the world is turning out. It says Big ST said in this day and age, as opposed to the government helping youngsters get into football and buying housing and stuff, they'd rather prioritize helping the rich. It's sad. Yeah, I agree, bro. I think it's definitely something that's gone different for sure, man. But yeah, man. It's crazy. Man said with a laughing emoji, I'm tired. Kids just giving money to Kai all day. Tops versus Colin, who is better, chat. Streaming is good, is a good hobby to have though. Streets are not saying, yeah, nah, it's true. Definitely to put a bit of balance on it. Again, it is getting more dangerous than it probably was back in the day as well. So maybe it's coincided with each other. Because again, the amount of kind of things that are happening in terms of people getting attacked and stuff like that, it's kind of crazy compared to obviously back in the day where really, bro, nowadays you don't even have to have a problem with someone or even know them to obviously get hurt, you know, in the crossfire, stuff like that. Whereas before, it was kind of like a thing where you kind of just kept yourself to yourself kind of thing, and then you'll be fine in it. So yeah, it's definitely changed for the worse in my opinion as well. So yeah, maybe that has coincided with the fact that people just want to stay in because they're just happy with their own company and like you said, they are safe. Big up Carla, Chris, sorry, says Diaz just too hot and cold. That was my issue with him and with Nunes. Nunes is no one can help that guy out. Obviously not a fan of Nunes as well. I said kids just sit on their devices all day now. For sure, Carlos tops all Colin was a tops every time, flood. As a kid, I just want to say I'm one of the rare ones who play football. Oh, big up yourself, man. Lewis Skelly, mum is the real one though. Yeah, big on Lewis Skelly's mum, man. Sorting out his contract. Obviously, I think there was a story that obviously she used to work 2 jobs or something like that to try and get into training and that. So yeah, she definitely deserves it, man. So yeah, big him up and obviously big up Skelly as well. I said tops every day, blood. I said Bill ST said me and my missus ain't got any sports skills at all, so we occasionally pray that we have a kid that they will grow up to have not to grow up to not have our sporting DNA. LOL. Yeah, I hear it, bro. That something to be fair, bro. That normally happens, man. Sometimes it's the kids or the parents that are not even into kind of any sports, and then their kid is like the polar opposite. Sometimes obviously it's passed down. You get like second generation footballers and stuff like that. So I think it can work either way, man. But yeah, you have to get them involved early, man. That's kind of the key, bro, with these kind of things. If you really want to see that as their future, you're gonna start training them from young, from young, bro. I know Daniel DeBar was training from early to be a boxer, man. He had no kind of social life or anything, bro. I think he was homeschooled as well. And yeah, he eventually obviously became world champion. So yeah, these are the kind of sacrifices you got to make if you want your kid to be at the top in it. Our country is tapped. I said, that's crazy, fam. I ain't reading that. We need that project Mbappe, legit. My sister said it's crazy as well. Kids play out on the streets, which is safe for outside of their parents. Are like they're like no chance. These countries so tapped, so not even safe. True. Our country has been dead for decades. Why are we shocked? Says Chris. Yeah, man, it's slowly declining for sure, man. Slowly declining for sure. Big up Carlos. It says the new Mafia drops Friday. We will be there. Listen, I did see the trailer. It looks all right, you're not. It looks all right, you're not. Now, the last one was cold, to be fair. The only problem with the last one is that it just got a bit too repetitive. Because you're just doing the same thing. You're just heisting buildings and things. So yeah, hopefully they change the kind of the story trajectory in it in terms of what you're doing for the missions. Because I feel like the missions they literally were all the same. You were just robbing different people. Whereas I feel like with this one, they need to kind of make it a bit more versatile in the storylines you're doing, and obviously the mission base you're doing in it, do different stuff. But no, it looks all right. You have to let me know. I swear you've pre-ordered it. I like. You'll have to let me know, man. Yeah. You have to pack me that through still. Yeah. Like, yeah. Love. Carlos going back to his mafia roots exposed. This is ST. I'm in college and some of my mates can't leave the 10-mile radius. Oh, that's mad, bro. Yeah, this is what I'm saying, man. There is a danger out there, man, for sure. Obviously, stay safe, kids, for sure, man. I said I'm raising Project Drugba, Project Kante, or Project Desai. But I have my 3 sons. I don't know about you, man. You guys hope you have 3 sons, then, brother. I'm telling you. To be fair, listen, the girls can do their thing as well in the women's game as well, man. To be fair, there is now a route for that. So it might not be the girl. It might even be the guy thing. I'll be real. I got the Mafia disc. Yeah, love. I'll drop you that when I'm done. Yeah, man. Appreciate that, man. Because yeah, I have to pattern that store. Because yeah, the new games are a scarcity in this day and age, man. But yeah, obviously back to what I was saying about Eze, man. Yeah, so basically it's looking like potentially we could be bidding for him earlier this week, but we'll have to wait and see what happens with that, man. Because again, I feel like for me, with Arsenal, they might long out the thing for sure. Because you know what these guys are like, bro. You know what these guys are like, man. So we'll have to wait and see. Let me see if there's any more Arsenal news before I head off. Big up everyone in the building. Make sure you guys like the video and subscribe to the channel. Obviously, Simon Collins says Nani Madueke has cut short his holiday to return to training with Arsenal. Big week in the club's preseason preparations with the 2 friendlies at the Emirates Stadium. Madueke eager to hit the ground running. So obviously he possibly is going to be playing this week then. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see how he does, man, and where he's going to play, whether it's on the right or the left. Calafiori and Saliba modeling the new kit. This is the new 3rd kit, man. I do feel like this is the best kit out of the 3, if I'm being honest, man. And this is the white with the red, like that, man. This is a nice kit. Maybe they could have changed the color a little bit, but I do like the color coordination, man. That kind of burgundy red with white definitely slaps. I can't lie. So yeah, man, this should be our away kit, man. And the blue one should be the 3rd one for sure. It's obviously also just showing off the kit. But yeah, it is actually a nice kit. I'll be honest, it is actually a nice kit for sure. Obviously, that's Rice 41 on the back. Timber launching the kit as well, man. So yeah, man. Obviously, that's article about Max Dowman. Obviously, Gabriella in the kit as well. So yeah, no real kind of transfer news, I don't think. Obviously, that's all about the defender potentially we might be going after. But yeah, obviously Thomas Partey is set to join Villarreal on a free agent contract. We actually play Villarreal on Wednesday, so yeah, very, very interesting how he's gone to there. Arsenal's new goalkeeper colours and kits. Okay, I'm actually not seen this before. Purple, that's kind of a different one. We've wore green before in the goalkeeper kits. This looks like the away kit we had a couple of years ago when the year we got like Ramsdale and that, man. But yeah, very interesting, man. Big up everyone in the building, man. Make sure you guys like the video and subscribe to the channel. All of that good stuff. Let me get back to it. Man said, imagine having a daughter and her becoming bro. I said, I cry, you know. That's listen, you have to just do your best, innit? Your nephew, I lost cause then, Carlos. Says unseen. But tops, we gotta think of the P's. The girls are doing their thing. Well, yeah, true. We got to get that generational back. I want my son to I want my son to retire me. Embrace that. Oh, yeah, smart. So man's gonna go up to 18. You know, it's crazy. By the time he's 20, you got to be retired in that. I hear it for sure. He's played at a few academies, but he doesn't like football. He said it's boring. Nah, what these kids, man? I swear. Oh my god. Oh, nah, you gotta drill that out of him. I can't lie, bro. Forget the boring thing, man. You can do this as a job. What is this? Oh my god. Yeah, that's crazy. I said fair. No point is it if his heart's not in it. Shout out Shout out to Bonnie B's parents. They got honestly, man. I don't know how they do it. Man said the younger generation aren't really obsessed with football anymore. It's more video. Yeah, it's facts, bro. It's more streamers, man. Video games, all that kind of good stuff. Those kind of days where you're in the park or you're playing in school or whatever, and everyone's talking about their favorite footballer, and I feel like that's definitely kind of gone. Don't get me wrong, obviously, kids still like football, but I think that kind of obsession, like Carlos was saying, man, where everyone's obsessed with football, whether no matter what team it is or even what division it is, people are obsessed with certain players and stuff like that, especially when you're growing up. And everyone wants to be a footballer, even if you're not good at football, you just want to be one, innit? I think, yeah, that kind of generation is definitely gone, man, for sure. I think it's definitely changed for sure. And doesn't like football and you're paying 40 to watch a friendly. Massive Bonnie Boot over CZ Mills, guys. Massive, he loves Chelsea but doesn't like playing football. He's just good. Fair. I think Arsenal brought Calafiori for his modeling ability over his footballing ability. Potentially, we got RS as well, bro, in the building, man. Grown ass man who wants kids Carlos talking about his favorite girl. I said what I said, blood. Man said we used to buy football cards. Oh, bro. Oh man, I used to have a bag of football cards, bro. And the tops, the irony, the tops trading cards. Bro, the stickers, bro. I used to, oh yeah, Max. Oh my days, match attacks. Oh, crazy, man, crazy. Match magazines, yeah. Obviously you've seen. I've still got them all. We were obsessed. These kids now they don't care. Match mags were our source for transfer news. Oh mate, the best days ever, bro. Honestly, when you think about it now, like we were so. I don't know whether you guys think it's a good thing or I think it was good. I think it was better back then. You know, when you were restricted to how much information you knew about certain teams and players and stuff like that. Well, you're all right, man. I forgot about having the kind of the match magazines, and they would put rumors in there of potential signings and stuff like that. And like you said, unless you had used to read a newspaper, which I ended up starting doing at 10 or 11, because again, that's where you'd find out the rumors and stuff like that. That's how I found out that Vieira was going to leave Arsenal. I can't remember what newspaper it was. It was on the back of it, innit? He's done his medical to Juventus or whatever. I was like, what the hell? Because you just wouldn't know, innit? You just kind of find out when obviously you get told either when you're watching the game that he's sold or he's moved on, or you read it in a paper. So yeah, I feel like the world was definitely much more better. Now everything's micromanaged, analyzed, stuff like that. It's crazy. But yeah, man, all kind of rumors, bro. All kind of rumors for sure. When I was younger, we went out loads because all I had was a Nintendo Wii, but definitely less of it now. Yeah, for sure. Oh, my Game Boy as well, bro. Oh man, Game Boy Advance. Oh man, PSP. Oh, bro, good times, man. Good times. But yeah, the match attacks they were sick, bro. Weirdest things in the world for sure, man. And some of the trading cards and obviously the stickers you used to get. I had the Premier League. We used to trade stickers at school, man, to try and get them all. I didn't manage to do it because obviously you have to get you have to get all the squad players for all 20 Premier League teams and the managers as well, I think. So yeah, it was just impossible, man. You'd have to spend loads of money, but it's crazy. We've got so many albums in the drawers, the stickers as well. Have you elite ball knowledge? I used to be able to name the whole squad. Yeah, facts, bro. From each Premier League team, facts, man. Same, yeah. That's how you, bro. The thing is as well, and you don't realize it until obviously now. When it comes to football knowledge and learning about players, it's kind of like you're taking a test in a way because you have to do the research yourself. Like you said, you have to go through all these kind of stickers and figure out the names, which kind of positions they play, if they're any good. You have to do it yourself. But obviously, everyone used to do it because they loved the game. They love football. They wanted to learn about foreign players or foreign leagues or players that are willing to come to your club and stuff like that, man. Nowadays, it's because it's all just given to you on a plate, and then people do obviously these montages or kind of compilations of players before they even sign. It's kind of everyone's kind of does the work for you. But yeah, man, when you know you're invested in something, that's when you go out yourself and try and obviously execute and try and get this kind of information as much as possible, man, because you just want to absorb everything. So yeah, 100% agree, bro. 100% agree. Bill Carlos says, yeah, it was better back then for sure. I'm still waiting for Chelsea to sign and Kaka. Yeah, this is what I'm saying, bro. I'm still waiting, yeah, for Etu to rock up in that swap deal for Adebayor, bro. I couldn't believe when I read that. Apparently, Barcelona offered Etu and 40 mil for Adebayor. We said no, and then we sold him the next season. Oh my god! Oh, crazy. Craziness, man. But yeah, man, those rumors are crazy. It gave you elite ball knowledge for sure. I got older, my parents started getting me 442. Yeah, and I got bored. no crosswords, no. Yeah, that's true, man. Yeah, you did. You used to get, bro. You know what was crazy as well? I don't know if you realized it back in the day, and it wasn't just like match magazines. Do you not remember, like, even like cereals? You used to just get loads of free stuff, like things that you didn't even like need or want, or it wasn't even linked to what you were buying, but you used to get loads of free things, man. Whereas now, I already see, like you said, things that are attached to like match magazines or cereal boxes or whatever it may be. We just get free items. Do you know what I mean? It was definitely more incentive to buy stuff back then for sure. Yeah, no crosswords, nothing boring for sure. I said it got to play LFP and EF. Yeah, this is what I'm saying, man. This is what I'm saying. You literally gotta play. Like you said, bro, you gotta play FIFA every single year to see who's obviously coming through or whatnot, and then yeah, you gotta play EFPL to see obviously who's about, which players swap where, whatever, how much they're worth, etc. So yeah, man, it's crazy, man. Big old ST says back in school, you'd have Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments. Oh, Beyblade, bro. Oh, me, Rebs. Oh man, a couple other man play scheme. Yeah, if you know, you know, bro. Oh man, yeah, crazy. We used to build ornament teams on paper, at the back of the class with your mates. Year 10 versus year 11 during. Oh mate, good times, man. Good times. This is what it was all about for sure. Because again, you realize, and you obviously realize now that you didn't actually have to have a lot of money to obviously have an exciting childhood back in them days, innit? In terms of like, you didn't need to have a massive kind of console or anything like that. Like you said, all these things didn't really cost that much money, innit? Like even like Yu-Gi-Oh cards back in the day, I think you were able to get like a deck for like £10 or something like that, £10-12, which again, maybe back then was probably a lot, but now, man, and that deck would last you time, and then you could obviously swap with other people, try and get some more cards and that. And yeah, even with the match attack, I think they were like I think the match magazines were like £2. Which again, it was like, you know what? You get maybe one a week, one every couple of weeks. I remember I used to get them every time I used to go on the train or used to go somewhere like a long journey. And yeah, that always used to be my thing, man. But yeah, I used to love them, bro. Absolutely love them. But yeah, year 10 versus year 11s, man. Crazy, man. Crazy. Good times, man. Very good times. Big up everyone in the building, man. Make sure you guys like the video. Subscribe. I said ST. Now everyone just wants to play on Xbox and PS5. Yeah, facts, bro. It's literally just, yeah, and it's obviously going to get worse. You see when GTA drops, brother, you ain't seeing no one. You ain't seeing, everyone's just going to be on there, bro. Me included, to be fair, because I'm copying that. And I'm getting online as well, bro, because yeah, that's going to be my one. But yeah, yeah, when GTA drops next year, hopefully they don't delay it again, because again, it's been delayed a few years now. So yeah, when that drops, bro, it's game over, man. No one's going to be about. Man, Carlos, I'm way too dog at FIFA. I can't be asked. Division 7 is mad. I think the highest one I got to was like 3, and then that was like FIFA 21 or 20. I can't remember, man. It's bro, the last few I just did not play at all. 22, 23, I just didn't play at all, bro. I can't lie. I was lost interest completely. Ultimate Team on paper is real. I've forgotten about that. Yeah, bro, facts, man. Facts. But yeah, even the posters you could stick on the wall during the walk. Yeah. I forgot about that. You know, you'd write the down the sort. Bro, it's true. You know what? I used to have as well. They used to do like in the match magazine. You know when it was like a World Cup. You know, it's like a World Cup or a Euros. Yeah, more like a World Cup though. They'd have like the graphic of all the games and all the fixtures, like a massive poster. And then obviously you just fill it in. Like, I don't know why we used to do that, because obviously you know what the score was going to be. But yeah, I remember sticking that up on the wall, and I used to just fill in the games and the scores and that. There's something aesthetically pleasing about it. I don't know what it was, but yeah, even the little things like that in it. I don't know, man. Maybe it's probably coming progress with you watching all the tournament as a whole in it. But yeah, man, it was good times, man. But yeah, writing down the score, yeah, for sure. Big old ST, man. I said cereal boxes is before my era. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I do remember that, man. The Cocoa Pops and Frosties and stuff like that. I used to get random stuff. Sometimes you used to get a free bowl or like a free Coke glass or something like. Bro, it used to be random stuff, man. One of them had you could get like a free like mini toaster or something, man. Like, it was crazy, bro. I spent like £40 on some plastic Beyblade arena for my friends, and yeah, but yeah, I think my mom bought me that from. I think it was August, you know. It was like 30 or £40, something like that. It was like a blue one, innit? Yeah, man. Beyblade had a little bit of a peak, man. But yeah, man, crazy times. I remember begging my mom to buy me packs every single time we went to Sainsbury's. Yeah, facts, bro. If you know, you know, man. Facts. Carlos says GTA got to load up again. You know what? It might be a shout still. Might be a shout still, man. The gaming channel will go off, man, especially online as well, man. It's crazy. I'm waiting for the magazine. Can't remember the name every week because I got a subscription for my birthday every year. This is what I'm saying, man. This is what I mean. Big up RS. He says, it's not just computers. If your parents, why would you encourage your child to go out? You're giving the way. Yeah, true. That's true. Especially depending on where you live. That's true. Got to be fair with that as well, because it is, bro. It's getting ridiculous, man. In terms of like the crime out there. Yeah, like I said, depending on where you live too, man, it can be very dangerous, especially when you're a young kid. And you got to travel through and from school or whatever. You got to go certain areas. So yeah, that is a very, very good point as well, bro. To be honest with you, because again, some of the things you see, and now people, unfortunately, they're rather video things rather than actually help the person when they're in obviously a position of need. They're rather just videoing it and put it on social media to get attention from it. So yeah, it's a different situation for sure, man. So, but by that perspective, I can hear it, because I'm thinking about, obviously, if I ever had a son or daughter, what would I do? Encourage them to go out or encourage them to stay in? It's probably going to be staying. I'll be real, because I need to know where they are. Do you know what I mean? And they're safe, man. There's too many things happening in the world which obviously back in my day were not as bad, nowhere near for sure. So yeah, I said looking through the August catalog, bro. You know how much stuff I looked through that I asked for, and that I actually didn't think I was going to get, that I got. I just kind of dash it all on the list, thinking, yeah, I don't really want it. Well, I want it, but I don't really want it like that. But then, yeah, I ended up getting it patterned for me. So yeah, big up Mumsy for that. But yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy, man. But yeah, they were the good times, man. Especially when obviously, you get it fresh. It's it's crazy. And then obviously you can go through the pages or whatnot. And yeah, man, mad. Big up, Aaron. And again, that's the kind of thing where, like we said before, in terms of obviously knowing about new players. Some of the times that's how we find out about new games, bro. Because again, unless you had money to obviously promote it, I'm trying to think of like FIFA adverts back in them days. I think you did have a few, because you had Ronaldinho, Rooney on a few of the adverts. But it was only really that, and probably WWE, and obviously WWE was only really based off if you watched WWE at the time, where they would promote the game obviously at the same time. I'm trying to think of other games that were promoted as adverts on a regular basis. Not that many, man. I'm thinking about it now. I'm trying to think of the games I had. Like even like the Dragon Ball Z games weren't promoted like that. Like you'd find out about these games, like you said, in a catalog. Like, oh, they've got new said game here, new GTA here, or whatever it may be. So yeah, man, it was definitely a different way to consume kind of information back then, man. It wasn't kind of in your hands. You kind of had to search for it for sure. I said the good old days, the best FIFA of all time. I'm saying either FIFA 04 or 06. Oh, you know what? Which one I really like, bro? I like FIFA 08 in it. I think that might be my favorite one, still. Maybe because of the teams in there. And I feel like, again, especially the top four teams, which were obviously Chelsea, Arsenal, Man United, and Liverpool at the time, they all had decent players at the same time. Obviously, Chelsea had their players, Arsenal had their players. Liverpool, I think, to be fair, Liverpool were probably the weakest out of the four, but they still had Gerrard, still had Torres. They were probably the main two players, really. Alonso was there as well, actually. So he was a good player. And then, obviously, Man United had Rooney, Ronaldo, Tevez. Yeah, their team was crazy. But yeah, man, there's definitely other games, though, that were very good as well. But, yeah, probably 08, man. There's a couple ones like 2010, 11. That's when obviously the World Cup was about and stuff. That's when they started to put in the finesse shot. I'm sure it was like 2010, where there was 1 year, bro, any finesse would go in, man. Any curler would go in. Do you know what I'm saying? I said, yeah, I wasn't born then. And well, big up yourself, bro. Big up yourself. I appreciate that, my guy. I'm gonna say 19. I think 19 is probably the last best one I played, if I'm being honest, without obviously the name rebranding and stuff like that. I think that's probably the last best one I played for sure, man. But yeah, those, bro, they had a good run. Well, they had a good run where the games were really, really good, man. But yeah, obviously everything good comes to an end at some stage, man. Unfortunately, bros. Unfortunately, man. But yeah, big up everyone in the building, man. It's been another 6 stream as well. Hopefully you guys are good and well. But yeah, man. That's a nice little talk about obviously throwback and trying to reminisce about certain things and stuff. But yeah, man, very, very good indeed. Very, very good indeed. Big up everyone in the building, man. Make sure you guys like the video and subscribe to the channel. All of that good stuff. But yeah, man, I'm gonna be out of here now. Big up everyone that's been in the building, man. Make sure you guys like the video. And that. But yeah, man. Must go to playlist. I've got bare goods. FIFAs. I can't pick a favorite. Now, bro, they had a. It's not saying, bro. They had a run where they were there every year. It was good, man. I can't lie. Every year it was good. Especially, bro. What was the it was South Africa, bro. Yeah, I think you bought it. That one was cold, man. That one was cold. The World Cup in 2010. Obviously, they put all the stadiums on there. I remember that one, and I remember you spamming Nigeria. For some reason, no one could beat you when you had Nigeria. I don't know what it was back in the day, man. But yeah, that was fucking cold. That was very cold. That period there, probably from 2008 to maybe like 2014, 15, 16, maybe. I would say probably the best kind of era they had, man. But yeah, very, very good. That's when I enjoyed it the most. I said, catch you at 2 blood. Yeah, 100% catch you, man, at 2. I'll redirect to my guy, Shane. So make sure you go over there and say T-Chans are raid. But yeah, man, until next time or until 2, I'm out, people. Good seeing you guys, and I'll catch you in a bit. Peace and love.